this evening?
Fantastic, yeah. I was at the very first Red+Carpet screening
Wow.
1.5 years ago, or a year ago.
Yes.
Yeah, really, and I think, yeah, it's a different set of films this year.
Yes, absolutely.
So
they
fantastic
have
work.
changed
Yes.
a lot.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, tell me about Meet. Where did this all start?
It started with a phone call from Mark Brennan, the writer and producer. He called me up and said, there's this fantastic, well, he didn't say fantastic, he said there was a horror film festival in Margate. It's a 2-day, we've got 2 days to film something and we should do it. So I said, okay, let's do, he kind of set me up the script, we kind of worked on the script, etc, etc. Came down, I didn't know the people, I didn't know the crew, and it was all, we kind of started off pretty slow, and we basically ended up filming, I think we started roughly at 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and we finished, well, I think we started wrapping at 5 o'clock in the morning, the following morning. And it was just crazy, the whole shoot was completely crazy. And that was the film, that was actually the first film I did. And
that was a short film?
That was a short film, it was 10 minutes. It was supposed to be less than that, turned out to be 10. Tried to cut it down, didn't work. So that was kind of the first thing, and then we sent it to the film festival, and you know how it is, you kind of think, yeah, okay, whatever. Then we actually won a few prizes, which got us all excited. So we said, oh, we love the characters, we love the storyline, you know, we should do something with it. And so we kind of said, let's do a series, fantastic, marvellous idea. 2 years later, we're now here. So it's taken us...
Quite a journey.
It's been quite a journey, and a lot of it... doing series, I think, is a completely different kettle of fish.
Where lie the differences between the original short film, or the process of making the original short film, and this series? Where are the differences?
The main difference is, from our experience making films, we've done a few films together, the main difference is that a bunch of crazy people meet up on a long weekend and just film until they fall over, and then you basically edit together what you have. The problem with the series is you have to do it over multiple weekends, you have to get the same, you try to get the same crew together, it would be good to get the same crew together. You definitely have to get the same cast together. And that's suddenly where things start to get tricky, because suddenly people's lives get in the way, and things change, and suddenly someone's got a job, and then he's away for 6 months, and then the other actor comes back and says, but I can't shave, because now I can't grow a beard, or I don't know which way around it was, but it was all kind of pretty tricky, which is the reason it kind of dragged on and dragged on and dragged on. It was supposed to be 6 episodes, and we ended up with 4, because one of the actors, one of the leads, actually now lives in America, got married, and everything kind of just went a bit crazy. So we kind of managed to shoot 2 alternative endings when we did the last weekend, and thankfully we did that, because at least we got some sort of ending. But Mark is always very keen to kind of point out that that was not supposed to be the ending. There was supposed to be another 2. Okay,
well, where do you see, you've pointed out some of the drawbacks or some of the difficulties sometimes of creating a series. Where do you see the opportunities with this? Where would you like it to progress to?
What, this series, or...?
This particular series, you say you've made 4 episodes. What would you like to actually happen from now? Did you want it to be picked up somewhere, or to have the story developed further? What would you like to see happen?
I actually genuinely think that the characters are pretty strong and pretty unique and funny, and I think that's kind of created by the writer together with the actors. So I think there is potential there to actually take it further. However, because of the previously mentioned difficulties, you know, I think if someone would pick it up and suddenly money is involved, I'm pretty sure certain people would fly back from the States.
Yeah.
But at this particular point, we're going to put it out on YouTube. We just want to get it out there. We want people to see it. We want people to have fun with it. And to be honest, I think at this particular point we just enjoy the feedback from it, because for us it was a learning process. Every single film we do is a learning process. The first film we did, we thought production-wise just wasn't quite there. We kind of thought, yeah, the story was, the characters were great, fantastic, we were very proud. This one we said we need to get the production a little bit home then, and we kind of did that. It was quite interesting watching it on a big screen, because I signed this film off 2 days ago, watching it on Vimeo. Doesn't work, I can say. I think we need to go back into the, into production and post-production. Some of the grading was a bit odd. But it's, I think we've come to an end with it. Unless someone picks it up and says, okay, you know, we love it that much, can you do a little bit more? Yes, we can. We've got the alternative ending. Yes, we have alternative characters. But I think we would very much miss one of the leads. So.
Okay. Well, talk a little bit about the characters, because we've seen one short episode which continues on the story, but a lot of people here may not have seen the original short film. Describe the characters, the two main characters. What are they like?
Dear. Oh, we've got a. It's very difficult to describe without giving really anything away, especially for people who haven't seen the film. I would recommend you go on to porkchoppictures.com. It's there, and we will release the various episodes over the next 4 to 6 weeks. It's basically a bit about a relationship between a pretty straight, very straight-thinking, very intelligent individual and a slightly chaotic individual with some very interesting hobby. And he's got a huge fascination of cooking, and I think they both together have a very unique passion, which they share, and that's the passion that basically drives both of them forward. Oh dear. I tried to kind of explain it to not give anything away, so I think that's
wonderfully put, wonderfully put. Okay, so in terms of this particular film, this particular series, there are opportunities for it to continue. Yes, there are difficulties in the process perhaps, but there is that option. What about yourself? What are you personally working on at the moment, and what would you like to produce in the future?
At the moment we are working on something very different, because we've done comedies now, and it's very, very challenging, I have to say. Comedies I find very, very challenging, and hats off to anyone who gets it right, because it's very, very tricky. Not saying that anything else is not tricky, but I find comedy very challenging. So the next film is going to be another short, which we are doing because, again, we want to work on the production value. We kind of need to kind of, again, work a little bit more on that. It's going to be much trickier. It's got a lot of outside shoots, and also in the dark, so it's going to be all messy. And after that, we're planning a feature film. So that's going to be pretty challenging as well, in its own right.
Have you made or worked with feature film before?
I've worked with feature film scripts of other people before. I've worked for several companies developing feature film scripts. That is mostly my background from the industry. But I've never worked on an actual feature film as such, other than on the script bits, script development, etc. And it was actually mostly television features, I should say, okay. Because they always come in as features, but I think most of them are, most first-time feature film writers have the tendency to write about something that they experienced in their own life. So it's something like coming out or sexual abuse or anything like that. It's really quite great. It was quite interesting doing that job. Yeah, that's kind of basically the background, and then I moved into production, and then I moved out of production, and now I work in distribution. So.
Okay, great. Well, Alexander, thank you very much, and I very much await the release of the other episodes because it looks hilarious, I must say. So, Alexander Loeseke, thank you very much. Excellent.